Hey you all, Muscle hi to fellow dressmakers. You're welcome to another interesting tutorial. And on this one, I'll be showing you how to sew this gorgeous dress you can see in the middle that I used to make the one on the left and on the right. In the previous video, I shared the pattern drafting and the cutting tutorial of this dress. And I promised to come back with the sewing tutorial. So if you're yet to see the previous video, that is the pattern drafting and the cutting, I recommend that you see that so that you see how we came up with all these pieces. And having transferred the patterns to the fabric, these are the pieces we need now to make this dress. I have the front pattern, which I have also gone ahead to cut out the lining because this is a sheer fabric. I mentioned that I used chiffon in my previous video. And this is the back pattern, which I recommend that you just fold your facing, then you start your lining starts from the fold. I don't know if you understand, we'll talk more about that. But here is the front skirt pattern and here is the back skirt pattern, and this one is the one for the gathers, which I also cut out my lining halfway because you can see it did not get to the same length with the fashion fabric. So we are going to be keeping all of this aside. I'll be talking about the flounce and the sleeve later. For now, we are going to be sewing, and the first thing I will do is to stitch my dart. So I'm going to take out the pins that I used to hold the pattern to the fabric this way, and then I'm going to measure the dart length on the pattern. Yeah, just go ahead and measure it from this point to the side seam this way, and then whatever it is you have, you're going to mark that exact value on the fabric. And you see that I have 1 inch side seam allowance on my fabric. Yeah, so marking the exact value I have on the pattern means that I'll stop stitching this dart 1 inch before my bust apex. That is 1 inch before my bust span, yeah. Because you are sewing this, if you're closing your dart on your pattern, you don't have to worry about stopping 1 inch to the bust apex. But since we are sewing, I'm going to be measuring what I have on the pattern and mark the same thing on my fabric so that it doesn't get all the way to my bust point, the nipple point. Yeah, if you understand it that way. So I'll go ahead and mark the dart this way, and you see that I'm marking that from my dart width that I notched while transferring the patterns to the fabric. I'll repeat the same thing here, measure the value, then use my ruler to connect it from the dart width to the dart point like this. I'll repeat the same thing with the lining, fold it this way, notch to notch, which indicates my dart width, yeah. Then go ahead and mark it like this. And marking it like this will make it easier for you to work with it so that you don't have one bigger and one smaller. It's just uniform. So I'll go ahead and sew it as I have pinned it down and marked it, and then after that I'm also going to sew the back. Then for this back, I mentioned that you should fold your facing, the facing you added to your pattern, yeah, fold it, and then your lining will start from that fold. Don't cut it as you see mine here. I made a mistake, yeah, and I later corrected it. But yeah, aside the cutting that I made a mistake on, every other thing I will be sharing with you here, go ahead and repeat the same thing, just the cutting, yeah. So once you cut it from the fold, from the facing fold, yeah, you are now going to notch to get the midpoint. Because I already have a joining on my fashion fabric, I do not need to notch on the fashion fabric. So I'm going to match up the one I have now on the lining on the joining I have on the fashion fabric. Then I'm going to be sewing it straight like that, and afterwards I'm going to match it up on the down and sew the side seam. Yeah, that's how you're going to do it. After sewing and top stitching, you're now going to just match them up this way and sew the side seam like you see me do it here. But then you might want to join your skirt before sewing that side seam so that it will be easy for you. Let me show you how to do that. For this front now, I've gone ahead to sew the dart, and you see my dart allowance going down. Yeah, your dart should be facing to your waistline and not upwards. Repeat the same thing with the lining too so that it won't disturb your armhole. It should be going down. Yeah, then I'm going to bring the skirt pattern this way. Then I'm going to get the midpoint on the skirt and match it up on the midpoint of the top part, yeah, and go ahead and join them. I'll repeat the same thing with the lining. I'll notch the lining to get the midpoint, like you see me do it here. And once I have the midpoint, I'm going to repeat the same thing with the skirt lining. And after notching, I'll take the notch I have on the waist of the skirt to the one I have on the waist of the top part here. Go ahead and join them on the waistline, and then I'll go ahead and sew the neckline, top stitch on the neckline before I sew the side seam. And after doing that, I'm going to iron it and keep it aside. But for now, let's talk about the flounce. You can decide to use your iron to get this midpoint that I use my chalk to get. Yeah, just go ahead and measure out the width depending on the length of the flounce that you're working with, depending on how long you want it to be, depends on how much fabric you're mapping out for that. Then you get the midpoint like you see me do it here. After that, you're going to just mark a curve like you see me do it here. Then you go ahead and start, follow that curve and add your flounce width, the size of the flounce that you want to work with. You're going to follow this start curve and add it. There is a standard procedure to cut your flounce depending on the length of the flounce that you're working with, and if you want a tutorial on that, I will drop it, but this also works. Not that this works, but it might be confusing, especially if it's your first time doing something like this. So there is a standard way of doing it so that regardless of the length of flounce that you're working with, you will know how to go about it and it will form very well. But yeah, I'm going to just do it like you see me doing it here and follow the curve through. You see that I need to blend in some part after marking the first curve, and then after doing that, I'll follow the curve, the new curve through and mark the flounce width. And after that, I'm simply going to cut it out because there is nothing too serious about it. It's just the starting point that might be confusing some people, because some people need measurement to work with something like this. So if you want, I can make a tutorial on that, on how to get the start measurement, that start curve, how to go about it for any size of flounce that you want to work with. So after cutting, I'll trim it off like you see me do it here, and yeah, you go ahead and weave or you fold on both sides. I'll be folding, yeah. But yeah, what we'll be doing now is to just go ahead and join it on the shoulder, because you have to do that before turning the shoulder. So you're going to place it in a way that if you folded like me, you're going to place this in a way that it looks like, yeah, this folding means that this part is coming to the front and this part will be going to the back, because that's how it is. Yeah, one of the flounce will be dropping on the back and then one will be dropping on the front. Do you understand? Or you can style it like the influencer did, taking it. I'll be showing you how to do that by the end of this video after making the dress. Yeah, so go ahead and pin it down the same way you want it to appear, especially if you did not weave. But if you weaved, just hold them together on the shoulder and pin it down like I showed you earlier. But then since I folded mine on both sides, what I'll be doing is to make it in a way that that fold indicates that this is the right side and this part will be going to the front and this part will be going to the back. Do you understand? Then after joining that, that's when you will now go ahead and turn the shoulder. I'll be using the front lining to turn the shoulder like you see me indicate it here. Just basically the same way you turn your shoulder. Just make sure you are not having any shortage anywhere. So just arrange it the right way, then you pin it down. Yeah, you also go ahead and repeat the same thing on the other side. Use the lining to turn the shoulder. It will be easier for you to do it like that, like use the front to turn the back. Then after that, we'll be talking about the sleeve. I added short sleeve to mine, and the original style you see that it did not come with sleeve. So yeah, I shared how to go about it, the pattern drafting for the sleeveless, and also how to go about it if you want to add sleeve. So I'll measure the armhole, and the whole length I'm working with is about 6 inches, and that will take the joining on the top and the folding on the hem. Do you understand? So the whole length is just 6 inches because it's just a small sleeve. At the end of the day, I'll have about 4.5 length of the sleeve. I'll come down here 3.5 and use that to curve the sleeve this same way. Then get my round sleeve circumference on this point, add the allowance of 1 inch and connect it to this part this way. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. This is 2, meaning that I'm cutting for the 2 sides of the armhole. So you're going to join it here, and after that you close your side seam with your measurement. Our zipper will be on the side, yeah, so you're going to close it first with your measurement, then you iron it properly so that it will create that crease line that you will follow to fix your zipper. That's the best way to go about it. Don't guess, just close your side seam, iron it, and afterwards you're going to be fixing your zipper to the side, following the crease line that the ironing created. You know that you're following your measurement, yeah. So you're going down to the side where you want your zipper to be, either on the left hand side or on the right hand side. And if you be wearing your dress interchangeably, you will know that you don't even need to bother, just fix it anywhere, so that if you wear your dress this side today, your zipper will be on the right, and if you wear it the other side the other day, your zipper will be on the left. Do you understand? Then you stitch it down on the down part of the half length here, so that you can work with these gathers better. So we have one joining, which means that that joining will be going to the side seam where the zipper will be here. So you're going to fold it into two, meaning that this part now is folded and one part is open, and this two part now will be going to the side seam. Do you understand? I'm going to notch it. That notch will be going to one side seam, and the other open part will be going to the part where we will have our zipper. Then these two folded parts will be the center front and the center back. Are you following? So I'll pin it down on this part where we have the center front and the center back here. Then come down to 6 inches. My basque length was 8 inches here. So I minus 2 inches from that, and I'm doing 6 inches here. Instead of marking 8 inches, I marked 6 inches, and that's how you're going to go about it. You understand? Go back to your pattern in case you have forgotten your basque length. But yeah, we have 5 inches on the side seam and then 13 inches on the center, which means 8 plus 5, that's 13. So the basque is 8 inches automatically. Go ahead and give it a V shape and cut it out like you see me do it here. Then opening it up, you're going to still have one open on this whole fabric. You have one open. So go ahead and take one of those open part and match it up on one side of where your zipper will be. Do you understand? And then you're going to take the first notch and match it up on the V part, the first V part you'll be seeing, the first basque part of your dress, yeah. And then you're going to gather all this excess, just exhaust it until you get to where you pin. And then you're going to take the other notch and match it up on the side seam, yeah. And then the excess you have, you're going to also gather it until you exhaust it before you get to the side seam. You take the other notch and match it up on the basque part. This is the second one. This is either the front or the back. Do you understand? And then you take the open part and match it up on this other open part. And then all the excess you're going to gather it. And in case you want to gather first before you fix to the base, still go ahead and get the basque line marked out, because it will be easier for you to do it that way. Then afterwards, you're going to close the remaining side seam. Basically, close it from where you want your zipper to stop, and then you fix your zipper on that the allocated part. And yeah, I use an invisible zipper for mine, a matching color. Then for these flounce details, you're going to either leave it for you to drop elegantly like that, or better still, you can decide to style it the way one of the influencers of this dress did it. And I prefer this one because that's how you saw it from the beginning of this video. I styled mine this way, and the other one drops on the back. Then like I said, I hemmed both sides of the flounce, and yeah, if you want to, you can weave it, but I feel like this one is neater for me. Then since there is no zipper on the back, we did it on the side seam, yeah. And for you to do that proper, you're going to start from your bust dart. Just your bust dart should be a guide for you. Start from that point, and then you fix your zipper so that it won't cause any discomfort on your armhole. But if you don't have any bust dart, like if you didn't want to add that to your dress, you can come down 2 inches from your armhole, so that this will not cause any discomfort. Then the next thing I did was to try to match up the joinings, the waist joining, the basque joining, so that it will just look seamless. Until you come close, you won't even know that there's a zipper anywhere, because everywhere is just matched up. And yeah, that's pretty much how you go about it. Go ahead and give it the final press, and then for the inside, this is how you're going to fix your lining so that it comes out neat like this on the inside. Let me show you what it looks like from the top to the bottom. This is how the inside is looking like, super neat, and that's how I recommend that to do it. And I don't know, did you notice that I do not have the joining any longer on this dress? And that's because in the previous video I mentioned that I got another 1 yard and I used it to change the top part because of that joining. It was screaming mistake. Had it been I have that joining on that top part and also on the skirt, it would have been better. It would look like it's the design, yeah. But this was screaming mistake, mistake. So I had to get another one yard, and I followed every process I shared in this tutorial. I did not change the pattern. I used the same pattern. In fact, I do not throw my pattern away until I'm very sure that I no longer need them. That's the only time I throw them away. So I use the same pattern to cut it out on the new fabric and followed every other process, and this is how the dress turned out. It's better like this. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for this tutorial. I hope you found it very helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments.